Let's jump into those weddings because a couple of things that like I think we should discuss that like a lot of people there's a lot of conversation around this that people are like really one-sided. Like, why would you spend so much on your wedding and not do like XYZ? And the other people are like, no, like it's a one-time thing and like this X amount of money is not a lot of money for a wedding, right?
Yeah. So I think just to start out, like me and you were definitely like, oh, we're not gonna spend that much money on our wedding. We're gonna use it all for our honeymoon because
that's how we exactly started.
you know. But I think that's how everybody wants it to go. And then you start learning prices and what you want and what you need, and you're just like, oh, this is gonna cost, so much more than what I thought it was, to where I'm not gonna have all that money. And I think our big thing is that we're such family-oriented people that we want to include everybody. We want all of our family there, all of our friends, everybody that we just like met. We want everybody there. Like we don't care who it is, and we want them to have a good time.
Yeah.
And that at the end of it gets more expensive as it goes on.
Yeah, so that was like our original thinking was try to keep it cheap but include everybody. And remember, originally we were talking about families' houses, like backyards. We're talking about like Grandpa Allen's, before we even like asked anybody, just kind of conceptually thinking like, what if we had it here? But like, Grandpa's like that's not gonna fit more than 20 cars.
Yeah.
And a lot of our people are old; they cannot walk up that hill. Okay, what about this person's house? It could, but parking was gonna be a huge issue. Huge issue. Plus, like, if you play music and neighbors, there's so much that could, like, just go wrong that it's like, okay, we need a venue. That's what landed us on, like, okay, we're going to get a venue. That was our first place. We're going to get it cheap. Remember, we went to, like, nearly everybody in town, and there was, like, one or two that were already booked, but everybody else was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
They were, like, some were, like, $2,700 for a night, and that was a little bit of average, and we're like talking to some other places, and we found like a nice one, but they were booked. So like I said, we had a couple that were booked on our date. We weren't like afraid to change our date, but there was a lot of things with family, like we had to choose like that time frame. So especially with us moving, and but we chose a local venue that is going to be really awesome. They were going to do $900. I was like, this is it. This is a cool G. It's kind of a lot, but like $900 that way. They have close parking. They're also a hotel, so they can actually house people. People might be drinking. A lot of family and friends drink, so people can stay there and not drink and drive. People are going to be flying in. They said they're going to give all of our family and friends discounts so they can stay there, walk literally right out, go there. They don't have to leave at 10, 11 o'clock and find their new place to stay. Like, it's all on the same spot. I'm like, okay, $900, this is worth it. Right, because we're talking 200-ish people.
Yeah.
So like, and that's, I mean, we probably invited like more than 200, but we're planning on probably 200-ish because people bring extras, some people don't come. It's all up in the air, but around 200 people. So I'm like, this is gonna be perfect. We don't have to worry about music. We don't have to be being loud. We don't have to worry about anything. Like it's all like in the same spot, ceremony, like it's all right here. So that was our first big thing, and we booked it. All done, all good to go. But then the food.
Yeah, so I think that was our biggest thing.
Expense.
Yeah, is because we're just like, oh, like we'll just cater, like we'll just get someone. We were like finding prices. I'm like, man, this is expensive.
I was like, I swear it was a lot cheaper than like what people are saying. Like, remember I did a Chinese place. I did like Costa Vida.
Yeah,
I
like
did
we did
Subway.
so many places, and
they
we're
were
just
all
like
in the thousands.
Yeah, at least, if
and I'm
not
like,
more.
This is insane.
Yeah,
like, this
so
is crazy.
I think our biggest thing was like, oh, like let's just go to like Albertsons or like Costco, get some like little things and just put it in there, and we're good to go.
Yeah, but what went wrong is they changed a lot of hotels are changing their way of food because they've had so many. If someone brings food there that may make people sick or something, or like has something in it, or who knows, God knows what. But if something goes bad, that's on the venue because they're hosting the event. And even it just gets really complex. So a lot of hotels, not even them, but a lot of them were just like, we're not allowing outside food anymore. Like you have to get from us. We're like, dang it. Well, that sucks because we already booked them and we're already on the thing. We're like, how much do you guys remember originally for like their cheapest plate at the time? It was going to be like $3,000. I'm like, bro, please work with us.
Yeah.
I was like, what about chicken? Like mashed potatoes, like something super simple, like 3 things, like chicken, mashed potatoes, a drink, like something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, what can you do for us? And they even came up with actually even a better meal, but we got it down to like $1,800. That's still a lot of money.
It is a lot of money because once you think about it, I mean, that was just the venue and then the food, and then we had to have the photographer, the videographer.
Yeah. We'll get there, but with the $1,800, it was still a conversation of, is it worth it? Like, do we not feed people at our wedding? Or do we hey, maybe make an hour for our wedding? Because I mean, there's food places nearby. It's a hotel, so they can go over there and eat. But like, how is it to have like so much of our family flying in and be like, we don't have food for you guys. Go next door.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is a lot of people were telling us, like, oh, you don't have to have food. Like, people are just there to, like,
support you guys.
Yeah, but it's like, I personally have never been to a wedding that doesn't have food.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not a bad thing. Because, like I said, like, if you don't have food, I mean, you don't have food. Like, I would still go to your wedding.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is, like,
it's nice... icebreaker.
Yeah, well, and we wanted to have such like a long day. Like, I mean, we're starting our ceremony at 4.
Yeah.
And then, we don't have to get out until after like a little bit after 11. So it's like that amount of time frame, it's like to have people leave, they're just going to be like, "Oh, like especially if they have to leave and like eat fast food, then they're just like, "Oh, like I want to go home and like sleep."
That's 7 hours.
Yeah, so it's a long time, and it's just like, it's nice to just have something there that they can eat, and then, desserts and stuff, and then, have drinks and then the partying and the DJ and everything. So it's nice to just continue on the party all day.
Yeah. So what we did decide to do the $1,800 worth of food. Like I said, they wouldn't let us bring food and snacks because we're gonna do like fried chicken or burgers.
Yeah.
First of all, they won't let you grill. Like won't even let, and just grilling that amount of food, but let alone that, like it's just like no. But what's really nice is by having them do it, because they are doing it, they're going to make the food, prep the food, bring out the food, take care of all the plates, make sure all the seats are done, clean up all the food when it's done, come around, take plates that are all, we get like a full service.
Yeah.
That's awesome, but still, that is a lot of money. So we did lean towards it, but like you said, it's just something that I feel like all weddings have. I mean, I've shot 40 weddings to date, if not a couple more now, and every single wedding has had food. I think I've had 1 or 2 weddings that had snacks. A couple like LDS weddings that there's a shorter because like after the temple thing, they go to the reception and they just have some like snacks, but they still have like little like one with Subway, and they just have little Subway sandwiches that you can But you have to like I said, everyone has food. So I think it was just kind of like we're going to do it, So with that being said, we want our wedding to be a good date. Again, we want it to be cheaper, but here we are with our venue because of the parking situation, one of the biggest situations. And then people coming in and where they're going to stay, and they're going to give all of them discounts. It helps a lot of people. $900. Food. That was a very hard decision. That I could still see people would disagree with. And even though like a part of me is like, it's still a lot of money, what we agreed on makes sense. It makes the most sense to accommodate everybody. We're going to have food. Like I said, $1,800 there, double than our venue. That's crazy, because that's how they make their money too, right? Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about a photographer.
Oh, the photographer.
How do you feel about that?
Actually, I feel like we got a really good deal on our photographer. Did. So,
so like what I love about not just photographer, but like all of the people, like since I work in weddings a lot, I know a lot of the DJs, videographers, photographers.
Yeah. And I think what's nice is that I've actually met the photographer and the videographer.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's amazing, because then like when they're like having a camera shoved in my face, I can be like, "Oh, I know Travis. You." Yeah, instead of this random person, I'm just like, I'm a very awkward person. I don't talk that much, so it's just like please stay away from me unless I know you. Like,
but that's exactly. I agree 1,000% too. But because like it's good that I know them, so that way like they're able to like give me discounts. Like it's like hey, like me, like let's work up a deal like type thing. If I didn't, it would be more expensive, because we were shopping around for some photographers and they were starting $2,000, $2,500. I was like, whew, that's hot. But we knew this awesome girl that just raised her prices shortly after us. Thank you. But she was also on the podcast. Michaela, shout out to you. But she's going to be our wedding photographer. And I am so excited because she is great. She's fantastic. She's ahead of the game. And she's still in college too. But it's like she is doing awesome. But that was about $1,000. And that was one of those things like every wedding has a photographer. You know? That was just kind of like like if we're going to spend money, on a venue and these things, and friends and family all coming in that you probably won't see for a long. Like a lot of our family lives Iowa, Illinois, Arizona, Florida. Where else? Like all over Idaho. Yeah, they were everywhere. So to get a photographer and capture all those moments, that was just a neat deal. But videographer. Now this one we kind of discussed for a minute. I do wedding videography. Should we have someone shoot me at our wedding?
I think it was like a no-brainer. It was kind of just like I do this, so I should probably have somebody do this.
That's the thing. It was like just that discussion of, like, I do video, so if I don't have a wedding videographer at my wedding and someone's like, hey, like, when I'm like at which happens often, by the way, like I'll be like talking to someone and like about to book them or whatever, and we're all just kind of chit chatting. Who's shooting your wedding? And if I was like, oh, nobody, why? Oh, I couldn't afford it. It's too crazy. They're like, why should we book you? Like, if you, a wedding videographer, don't think that you need a wedding video, why should we? How do you even tell somebody that as a business?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't do it yourself, how do you have somebody else? Like, you have to own a business that you're passionate about and do yourself to get other people to come on board, right? So I was like you said, no brainer. We have to. Like, we have to have a wedding videographer. Now, how much? And where we're going to go. Thank the Lord, the guy that I've been working with all my dance videos and everything I've been working with for a long time is going to hook us up. Kind of. Yes, but no. He normally, as of now, and I think his prices have gone up, but it's about $2,500. But he hooked us up with $2,300, so a couple $100 off. Which, for some reason, I feel like videographers are less inclined to give some discounts sometimes. Like I do a lot, but a lot of videographers I know don't really do discounts. But I do know a lot of photographers that do. So it's kind of weird. But it was just like cool in general for him to hook us up. But now we're getting like the best of the best. Like him around here, he's really good. Like, I mean, you met him. Like, yeah, remember one of my dance videos? You were in it as friends, and that's when we were just hanging out too. You remember?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I love Travis. He's really good at what he does too.
It's
so
very fantastic.
I think we'll have a really good video from him for sure.
And there's a couple of points. So like talking about the money again, there's a couple of points this one does. It solves like, okay, the videographer area. Like I'm a videographer, I should probably have somebody solves that. Of course, genuinely, we want a wedding video to look back on, obviously. Like, I do it for a living. It's awesome. I think it's absolutely needed. To hear someone's voice that you can't see in a picture, like, it's worth it. Seeing someone to give their speeches, their vows, especially when people bring their animals. I recently shot a wedding for someone that I recorded their dog coming down the aisle, and it was the ring bearer, like, all that stuff. He passed away. You know, and like to see her like sharing the video online, like I just am so happy to like to see him moving in like the cinematic way. Like it finally hit me like, wow, like this really means a lot to somebody.
Yeah,
like this is life-changing thing. So that for that reason, what a wedding video. And then lastly, a big up to Travis. You know, we worked with Travis. You know him, I know him. We've worked together. You were in that film with me. Like there were so many ways that it's just like, you know, like I like Travis. We grew up together. We've known each other for a long time. Worked together a long. It's kind of like, you know, Travis, you deserve this.
Yeah.
So, let's go. So, photographer, videographer, not DJ, but venue and food. But now DJ. Do we have a DJ? Or do we just put our music on shuffle? I like these white people right now.
I fought hard for the DJ because I wanted a DJ. I didn't want the whole let's just put some music on and just shuffle it. I didn't want it.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I've been to weddings and yeah, like they're nice because you still have like the music playing and everything's nice, but like a DJ just makes it like so much better. I feel like, you know, he's so much more engaged with everybody.
He's getting people on their feet.
Yeah.
Keeps them on the dance floor.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he just keeps it going. And, you know, you could have 20 million songs on shuffle and, you know, people are like, oh, like, I hate this song. And
yeah.
like, oh, why would they be playing this song right now?
That's the biggest reason you have a DJ is because they can read the room.
Yeah.
If, like, people are trying to, like, slow dance and then get a vibe for it, boom, the next track, slow dance. Everyone starts slow. And then, like, he sees people, like, trying to hit, like, everyone's on the floor, and he's like, this is the time to hit a banger.
Yeah.
So he puts on, like, Cupid Shuffle or something, and then that's when y'all, like, get down with it. Also, like, the fun things, like, when you do, like, the games, like, the back-to-back, you know, you're doing, like, the shoe game. We're going to do a couple other little games, but also to have someone that kind of, like, this is, like, my favorite part, is to have someone, like, round somebody up. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, everybody get ready, go back. They're about to eat their cake. Everybody go back. Like, it's time to eat. Everybody, the ceremony, when you finish, please pick up your chairs. Go. Like, we don't have to do that because our venue's pretty cool. They're taking care of all that stuff. But have that person to kind of engage. Our cat's just staring at you viciously
I
right
know.
now.
I was just like,
He's
hello.
like, you are in my seat.
Yep.
And because
I
of these
am.
hairy dudes, I have to cover up the chairs after every podcast, so they don't hairy up these chairs. They're little turds, aren't they? But yeah, like so that was like a big reason for the DJs to have somebody to read the room, keep everything going on track, and keep it smooth. You know, because like that's another thing you don't want to stress about. Like giving your phone to your little brother is not a good idea. He's all playing like something like. Who knows? Like I can't even think, but some rapper or something, and you're like, bruh. Like,
Yeah.
So that came together, but that I know him. We worked together a couple of times. He normally charges a little bit over 1,000, but we got him for 900. So here we are. We started at a nice, what was it? A nice, cool. We want to try to keep it cheap, and now I think we all in all, and with everything put together, about $8,000. $8,000 for one wedding day, including just everything. There's a couple little things out there. There's more discounts inside of those things, but also like your dress, like all that stuff came up to like $8,000. And
because we also gotta add in flowers, all the attire that we have to wear.
But that's all in the 8,000.
Yeah.
Yes. We got the attire, the guys, like our rings. We got cheap rings. We got cheap dress. We got cheap everything we can. Cheap flowers. We having someone else make them. Like we got everything else that we could on the cheap end.
Yeah.
And that's what like again like the money thing, like when we're talking to people and they're like how like, and that's when I'm talking to people, especially like my wedding clients, the ones I'm close with. I'm like, how much are you spending on your wedding if you don't mind me asking? Or friends or like our photographer, and talking to all them. Ours about 12, 13,000. Other people 15, and I'm like, I swear to God, out of all the weddings that I've shot, besides the people I haven't asked, but out of the 10 or 11 that I did ask and know numbers for sure, they were all like above $10,000-$12,000.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, this is insane. They're like, yeah, we had to cut this. I'm using my mom's wedding dress. Like they had to cut the ways that they possibly could to keep it that low. Like people don't understand how expensive this is in general. Like it's just crazy. Because again, that whole conversation of this is going to be $10,000, like that's a lot of money, but like comparing it to how much people actually spend, it's a lot, but it is cheap. Me and you worked tirelessly to find those outfits, find places that carry this cheaper, find someone to do the flowers, hit up everybody that I know and have worked with to try to cut us a little bit of a discount in their things, but you don't want to undercut them because it's what they do. And we ended up with $8,000. But you feel confident, though, right, into our wedding?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like we made some really good choices in, like, who we picked and, like, how my mom and my grandma are going to start doing, like, the flowers and everything. I think what we did, it was really good. And, yeah, I think if anything bad happens, it'll be something so small that we won't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think all the big things are taken care of where, like I said, we have everything all done and we can kind of just do our thing throughout the day, and just kind of relax, try to be there as much as we can and enjoy it.